Unfortunately, despite the message coming out of the Kremlin that troops were going to start moving away from the Ukrainian border, over the last 48 hours, we've seen the opposite and more troops still arriving. There's been an anonymous briefing from the US overnight saying 7,000 more troops have moved forward. That's not necessarily a figure that we recognise here in London, but definitely illustrates that more troops are moving closer to the Ukrainian border. Bridges are being built, field hospitals constructed, and all of that, I think, is quite worrying and goes to underline the imminence of all of this, if not the inevitability.
This is the devastation after al-Shabaab militants attacked several police stations and security checkpoints in Somalia's capital Mogadishu early on Wednesday, according to officials and the militants. The attacks came as indirect parliamentary elections are held. Elections for lawmakers are currently due to be completed on February 25th. State TV reported that at least 5 people, including children, were killed in the attacks. A spokesperson from the militant group said fighters hit government targets in 4 districts in the capital and another area on the outskirts. He said the militants overran government bases and seized military vehicles and weapons.
Tonight, at least 78 people are dead and dozens still missing after raging floodwaters pummeled Brazil's streets on Tuesday. Water seen rushing down the mountainous region, with many victims still believed to be buried. Residents and rescue teams carrying body bags through the rubble. Verified social media video shows entire houses and even cars dragged away by mudslides. Officials say the flooding began in the evening, over 10 inches of rain in just 3 hours. That's almost as much rain as the last 30 days in the area combined. But this week, local residents looked on as water swirled through the city of Petrópolis, a mountainous region of Rio de Janeiro. In some cases, houses were buried entirely beneath mud.
While the standoff between Russia and the Western allies over the Ukraine conflict remains far from over, the United States has voiced concern over another region of conflict, warning of escalation. And that region is the Indo-Pacific, where it aims to counter China's growing military and economic expansionism. A top US general has warned, saying that China may take advantage of the Ukraine crisis and do something provocative in Asia, while Western powers are focused on diffusing tensions with Russia. General Kenneth Wilbach, head of the US Pacific Air Forces, said that China has aligned itself with Russia in the crisis, and when Beijing looks at the crisis, it considers whether this is an opportunity for gain.
Well, I'm here in front of the Élysée Presidential Palace. Right behind me here, and French President Emmanuel Macron is going to host tonight a dinner featuring leaders from Niger, Chad, Mauritania, countries belonging to the G5 Sahel, a group created in 2014 to fight insecurity in the region. But conspicuously absent from tonight's dinner are Mali and Burkina Faso. Those 2 countries also belong to the G5 Sahel, but they've been suspended from the African Union following military coups in those countries. Well, also at tonight's dinner, we'll be seeing leaders from West African countries, including Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Ivory Coast. And their presence comes amid growing concern of insecurity in these countries.
Burkina Faso's junta leader, Colonel Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, was sworn in as president Wednesday, less than a month after mutinous soldiers seized control of the West African country in a coup. The ceremony, not open to the general public, was held at the Constitutional Court. The ceremony was later paused for a minute to pay tribute to those who have lost their lives following recent jihadist attacks to the country.
EFF leader Julius Malema not budging.
No. I think you've got a wrong man. I didn't sing Kill the Boer.
Very well.
Even in the videos that they have presented before my Lord, not a single video shows me singing Kill the Boer. So I think they are looking for a wrong person.
Malema has disputed evidence brought by AfriForum.
You see, one, the book you are reading from is badly written and is not peer-reviewed and therefore cannot be used as an authority. Two, in the same book, the discredited book that uses this court to sell itself, said, I've got a Facebook page where I wrote things on my Facebook. It is not disputed here, my Lord, that I've got no Facebook page.
EFF leader says he does not say kill the Boer, but he says kiss the Boer, contrary to what AfriForum believes.
You also want me to interpret the language you hear?
Yes, just so we're clear. What are you saying?
Kiss the Boer, kiss the farmer. I thought it's English.
It is?
Yes.
And what does that mean?
It means kiss.
Kiss how?
Mwah.
At least 13 beaches in Sydney have been shut after a fatal shark incident in the city's east, a first one in nearly 60 years. On Wednesday, a swimmer was killed in a shark attack by the Little Bay Beach, about 20 kilometers south of Australia's largest city. The police have not yet disclosed the identity of the swimmer. A rescue helicopter and 4 ambulances were dispatched, but the victim succumbed to catastrophic injuries. Authorities and shark biologists believe that a white shark that was at least 3 meters in length was likely responsible for this attack. It was the first fatal shark attack in Sydney since 1963.